Hey everybody, this is Rustin with Metalholic Magazine, and with me on the phone today, the heart, the mind, the soul behind Alcest. It's Neige. How are you doing today?
I'm quite fine. Answering interviews because the new album is just out, and yeah, pretty fine. Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely. And the new album, and I'll butcher the name, Les Voyages de l'âme. I
In
believe.
French, yeah, it's Les Voyages de l'âme.
Ah, see, I just don't have that poeticness to my speaking. So, but an absolutely wonderful album, and the critics so far, everybody who's been reviewing it that I've seen has absolutely loved it. You've got to be really pleased with that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think it's a bit contrasted in terms of feedbacks, but it's like always with Alcest. It's a kind of love or hate relationship with the audience. And yeah, many people love it, but there are kind of haters as well.
Right. Well, I mean, the last album was almost everybody picked it as one of the top albums of the year. This year, people are already talking about it being one of the top metal albums of 2012. But when people talk about Alcest, they always mention black metal, which brings up
Yeah,
images.
that's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah, and it brings up images of sinister tales and darkness. But Alcest really has very little to do with black metal in any conventional way that I can see. There's no real negativity or melancholy that one might attach to your music.
Yeah, actually, that's why I prefer not to use the black metal label because even if I am using some tools, some musical tools from black metal, just like the some hard vocals, a few blast beats, but I think that's not enough to label or to associate a band with black metal because in the core, in the very essence of the project, I think it's almost the opposite of black metal because it's very uplifting and, as you said, it has nothing negative, nothing that can makes you feeling down or it's all the opposite. It's a very spiritual music, and yeah, dealing with most of all uplifting feelings and sweet nostalgia, and yeah, I think it's very emotional and nothing to do with aggression or any negativity.
Right. It's all very positive. So
Yeah, yeah.
so why? I mean, and I know it sort of originally had started out as something of a black metal project, but why were you originally drawn to create Alcest?
Um, I created Alcest when I was 14 or 15 in 1999, 2000, as a pure black metal band, but just after the release of the first demo, I totally changed the style of the band and the concept behind. I wanted to use this name and this project Alcest to describe a special experience I had when I was a child. I was used to have some kind of very undescribable visions. I still don't know what is it, and that's why this band is a kind of quest for me still now. And some visions of a world that is not the world we live in, and but that still exists, at least for me. And the only goal of Alcest was from the beginning to describe this dimension and my feelings related to it. So, but that's from the release of the first demo. So, what I consider to be the real Alcest is the first EP. The Le Secret EP is for me the very start of the band.
And then with the last album, and again I'll butcher it, Escales de Luna or something to that effect. I'm gonna have to learn how to speak French is what I'm gonna have to do. But an incredible album. In your mind, because you're the creator, how does the new album sort of relate to or transcend from the previous record?
I love the previous record. I think as itself is a very good record. I am very satisfied with it, and as you said, it has great reviews because I think people like dark stuff. Most of all, they see darkness as a deep thing, And for me, the deepest things are not necessarily in the darkness. And I don't mean that it was a completely dark album, but it was maybe a bit too melancholic for Alcest. And it was dealing more with my personal life. You know, it was pretty hard time for me at this moment back then, and I think it's really felt in the music. And on the New West, it's much closer to my original idea with Alcest to be to create really dreamy music, really ethereal and full of bliss and full of serenity and with a strong otherworldly feeling. Maybe the last one is speaking too much about our world, and the new one is really speaking about the Alcest world, if you see what I mean.
Alcest is sort of an anomaly because, let's face it, metal music, especially extreme metal, is full of what we might call elitists, you know? And yet here you are doing this beautiful music that's so outside the realm of what extreme metal is normally thought to be, and it has been so readily embraced by the extreme metal audience. Why do you think that's so?
Yeah, there are many metalheads that like Alcest, but I think that's just a part of my audience. I think it's pretty half and half, you know, it's half metalheads and maybe few goth people, but the other half is people that listen to many things, you know, like rock, folk, any kind of music. And all the critics to Alcest are coming from the metal audience precisely because, as you said, it's very close-minded scene, I think, and they don't like so much big changes in the metal formula, you know. But you know, I never considered Alcest as a real as a metal band, you know, because even if I am using some tools, you know, some distorted guitars. The music is so soft and so fragile in a way. I think that's just, kind of dreamy rock with distortions for me. I don't think we can label it as black metal or stuff like this, and that's why people are sometimes getting wrong about Alcest. They imagine I am trying to do kind of softened metal, but that's way more complicated than this. I think it's music that has to be listened for what it is and not to think in terms of metal, post-rock and other shit like this, you know. I think that's way more complicated, and there is a very strong concept behind the band, and that's the most important thing to know about this project.
Well, I mean, you really can't label what Alcest does because it is so unique and diverse in its sound and everything. And all your stuff, I mean, you talk about this journey, this other world. Where is the tale on the new album taking us? Where are we going on this journey?
To the Alcest world, as much as on the previous releases. It's not, it's not a concept that can change. The concept of the band will always be to describe this dimension because I am lacking of words to speak about this, and I need to share it. It was a so strong experience for me, what I had when I was a child, with these visions of kind of heavenly dimension. I never could explain what it is, and I was too young to imagine such a thing. You know, I was maybe 3 or 4 years old. I was a very young kid, and having such kind of visions, I've read a lot of books after that about life after life and esoteric things, and
So really the music itself is answering the question instead of you trying to put it in words.
I think so, the new album is bringing you to this dimension. That's the goal of it.
Right. Does it feel odd for you having grown men referring to your clean vocals as beautiful, even romantic?
No, because I think they are very soft, and that's the goal of it. You know, I want these vocals to be yeah, a bit like, I don't know how to say, a bit angelic almost, you know.
Right.
And yeah, very romantic. But I'm sure they say this because of the French language, you know, French.
Right. That doesn't hurt either.
Maybe, but what I want to do, yeah, is very soft vocals. Not pop vocals on the front, but just like a part of the instrumentation, almost, you know.
Did you approach making and recording this album in any way different than the previous album, or was this sort of a continuation of your process?
Oh, it's a continuation. This album, you know, the newest, is for me the end of an area. I always had the same composing habits since this moment. Always working with my old good 8 tracks shit, you know. I am very limited in terms of technology. But for the future, yeah, I want a small revolution in my way to compose and to record, maybe, yeah.
I can't imagine that because the last 2 albums have been just so joyous to listen to. But were there any albums this last year that really stuck with you?
I didn't listen to a lot of new music. Most of the things I listen are older, but I have listened to the last Solstice year from Iceland. Yeah, it's pretty famous band, at least in Europe, and the last album is excellent. It's really avant-garde rock metal, very dark and emotional, but at the same time there is a very, a kind of rock and roll feeling in it. And yeah, this one was excellent.
Is there any particular album that you're looking forward to in 2012?
If Dead Candence are about to release a new album this year, this will be the one I will really wait for, you know, because there is this Dead Candence reformation.
Mm-hmm.
They will play concerts, and this would be really good. Otherwise, I don't know. The new Lady Discret album, but I know it already. You know, the band of my friend, Chaussée.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing more, I think.
I heard a rumor that you guys may actually get over here to the U.S. this spring, like in March or something.
Yeah, and we posted the tour dates today on the Facebook page.
Oh, perfect timing. So, well, a couple of quick questions before we get out of here, just for fun. If you could spend an evening with anybody, past or present, alive or dead, who would you want to spend an evening hanging out with and talking to?
Wow. With Ian Curtis from Joy Division, but I'm not sure this will be a very funny evening. Otherwise, maybe with the singer of Dead Candence, Slow Dive members.
Okay.
To spend, to be in a bar with Slow Dive members. That would be great.
And outside of music, what subject or passion could you talk about for hours?
About cinema, I love to watch movies and paintings as well. I am admirer of pre-Raphaelite painters and symbolists, mainly paintings from the 19th century. And yeah, I like to collect books about these painters and to go to exhibitions. I was in the Tate Gallery in London last year to see the pre-Raphaelites, and I am getting a lot of inspiration from these paintings for Alcest, actually.
Nice. Well, Neige, I appreciate so much you taking the time to talk with us. The new album, and again, I'm not going to try and say it because I'll butcher it, but absolutely wonderful. I know it translates to something along the line of Journey of the Souls here for us English-speaking people, and it really is. It's a very beautiful sonic journey. Everybody should pick up a copy of this, and of course the previous album as well. So, do you have anything that you'd like to say to the listeners and the fans out there?
Just that they will get interested in the concept of this band, and I hope they liked the last album. And if we play near to their home, I hope they will come to see us.